Hello, welcome back to Global Business Europe. Joe Biden is joining striking car workers on a picket line in Michigan in a rather rare move for a sitting US president.
Members of the United Auto Workers have been out on strike for over a week, halting production at several plants. Donald Trump, who is the front-runner to be the Republican presidential candidate for 2024, is due to address striking workers later in the week.
Well, Scott Lucas is Professor of US and International Politics at University College Dublin. Scott, welcome back to the programme. Good to see you. Just how significant is it that a sitting US president is popping up on the picket line?
It's notable. It's the first time, certainly, that I can remember, and I'm quite an old guy, that I can remember a president going out with union workers, supporting union workers during an ongoing labor dispute. But I think it reflects a change. I think a generation ago, presidents wouldn't risk this because the idea would be if you showed up alongside the unions, you were anti-business. And if you're anti-business, you could lose a lot of votes, a lot of support. Now, both the Republicans and the Democrats actually will be courting votes from among union members. And of course, Michigan is what we call a swing state. It'll be one of the critical states in next year's election. But I think beyond that, it's not just politics here. It is also a reflection of the Biden administration's approach, which is the United States, which is doing quite well economically. But for that economic, basically, development, that platform that the Biden administration has laid with a whole series of legislation, you've got to have cooperation between unions, businesses, and the government. And in the eyes of the Biden administration, the auto companies who have made a big turnaround. 15 years ago, they were in financial trouble. Now they're making record profits. It's quite right that some of those profits should be shared with the workers who make the automobiles and who make the trucks.
Just give us an idea of what kind of impact is this strike having on the US car industry?
Well, that's going to depend on the length of the walkout. And of course, we're only in the second week. And the walkouts initially were only at one plant each of the big three manufacturers, GM, Auto, and Stellantis, the old Chrysler-Dodge combination. There was a bit of an expansion with 38 of the Dodge Chrysler plants, the parts plants, joining the walkout. If that continues to expand and if the strike goes beyond weeks into months, yes, it will have a big effect on the American economy. If it's resolved fairly quickly, it's just going to be a ripple. And it's going to be back to, I think, the bigger challenge, which is the automobile companies making that transition to green vehicles, to the green economy, especially through electric cars, electric trucks, and other transportation.
Both Joe Biden and Donald Trump are due to see the striking workers this week. Just how much of an election issue might this become?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely an election issue because we're not just talking about the automobile industry. We're talking about the idea of the working person out there and how you get the working person to vote for you. And a lot of them has switched from Democrat to Republican since the 1980s. But I think there's a contrast between Biden and Trump. Biden, I think, is a serious appearance, which is related to the ongoing dispute. Trump is a circus. I don't think Trump actually has that much invested in the issue, but the Republican debate is an hour after he makes his appearance, and he wants the media to be focused only on him and not on the other 7 Republican candidates who will be on the screens that evening.
Scott, good to see you. Thanks for coming on the programme again. Scott Lucas, Professor of US and International Politics at University College Dublin.